Good evening, everybody. Thank you for sparing your valuable time, especially on a Saturday weekend. I'd like to thank Mr. Nilesh Bharat and the FMJPI. It was Mr. Bharat's vision sometime in 2015 that he wished to bridge the vendors on one side and the clients and the consumers on the other side. Now, it's a brilliant idea. It reminds me of an old saying that if you have a rupee and I have a rupee and we exchange the rupee, we still have only 1 rupee each. But if you have an idea and I have an idea and we exchange the ideas, we both have 2 ideas. So it is with this, perhaps Mr. Bharat started this FMJPI, and over the years, he's been able to bridge the two. So thank you, Mr. Bharat. Thank you, FMJPI, for this opportunity and inviting me. And thank you again, all of you all, for sparing your time. Won't wait much of your time, just a little bit on Crystal. Crystal Allied Services is a division of the Crystal Group. The Crystal Group is divided into KSPL, which is the facility management. Then they have Voxara, which is into CCTV and the digital technology. Crystal Gourmet, which caters to gourmet services. And Crystal Aviation, which caters to the aviation service. Crystal Allied Service is a blanket. It's a one-stop shop for all of these services and even outsourced services. So if there's just about anything to manage your property, yes, Crystal is there to serve you. Now, coming back to our seminar for today, it's broadly based on the need for technology and where the market is going, what are the trends, and how do we gear up to ensure that we are able to meet the needs of the customer. Okay. So, in fact, we have to congratulate every one of us here simply because we are part of a 5 lakh crore industry. I repeat, 5 lakh crore industry shortly in the next couple of years. So obviously, when there is 5 lakh crore at stake, you can expect a lot of people to come in. So where there are flowers, there would be bees, and where there are bees, there's going to be competition. So if you don't sharpen your skills, if you're not updated yourself, you are going to be estimated, as Charles Darwin said. So the presentation goes like this. I can share it with people later after I finish it if anybody wants it. But the gist of the story would be primarily to ensure that, yes, Charles Darwin said, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one that's most responsive to change. Otherwise, dinosaurs, which were the very, very strong animals, would have survived. They didn't. So all those people who think that I am a big company, I am strong, I am huge. I don't want to be taking names of brands, but there was a certain photographic brand which was known. It is synonymous with photography. Today that brand is no more available just because they refuse to change. So it's important that we change. As I said, the facility management industry is roughly about 3.2% of our GDP, and that's a sizable number. So the growth, if you look at it, is going to be growing at about 11.4%. Globally, the industry trends are slightly trending downwards, but in India, we are still looking up and right. Now, what are the challenges with the current industry? You now have a band of well-informed customers, extremely tech-savvy, and people who make decisions based on data. So therefore, if you don't cater to these requirements of theirs, obviously you're going to be having serious issues. So how do we do that? Now let's look at the way the wheel is supposed to be one of the man's greatest inventions. If there was no wheel, probably a car wouldn't be driven, computers wouldn't drive because there are drives in that, and many other things. In fact, almost the earth would have come to stop in terms of business. 1971, somebody invented the email. Otherwise, can you imagine what used to happen? Somebody sends a letter, you post it, the post office takes it to the other post office, then it gets delivered, you read it, you respond. So the response time was comfortably 30 to 45 days, and we accepted that. But once email and thereafter we've got SMS, we've got WhatsApp, we've got all those technology coming in, response time has been absolutely reduced, which means today the managers and the people in the industry have to respond at lightning speed. You don't have the luxury of time. So you have to update yourself and sharpen your skills. The mobile, for example, 40 years ago, there again changed. Whoever thought that we could get people could contact us while we are on the move, but yes, we are. About 10 years ago, if somebody said you can stay at home and hail for a cab or a taxi, we would have laughed at them. But today, Uber and Ola are probably the biggest aggregators. And the best part is they don't own a single vehicle. So the way we conduct a business, the way we conduct the business itself is transacting is changing dynamically. And we need to ensure that we are capable and we sharpen our skills. Now look at the top five trends in facility management industry. It started off with the integrated facility. Primarily, it was a guarding and facility. Then we added on a little more. Today, it is now becoming more and more data driven. The decision making, both sides, is data driven. There is focus on flexible workspaces. Now, this is extremely important, especially in this current post-COVID era, because huge offices are now getting smaller and smaller. People are being offered to work from home. Therefore, the requirement for offices is going to be reduced. And therefore, in terms of people who are only looking at facility as a manpower-driven industry, will have challenges because smaller the area to maintain, lesser the number of people, and the lesser the number of people, therefore could realize in lesser turnover. So how are you going to bridge that gap? So that needs to be thought about. And then the expansion of IoT, Internet of Things. It's made things so easy, so accessible, and so user friendly. For example, let's look at conventional building management systems. Now, in the corporation, if in the institution, you put a building management system which says take the AC should function between 20 to 22. So 20.1 is not considered change. 20 21.9 is also not considered deviation because the bandwidth said 20 to 22. However, if you track the process, the temperature doesn't jump straight from 20 to 22. So there's a gradual steep. So 20, 20.1, 20.2, it's 22, 21, and then 21.5, and then 21.9, and then 22.1. So the most of the building management systems are reactionary in nature. That is, if it crosses 22, it allows the event to occur and then gives you the alarm. But today's IoT, we have predictive alarms, which means if it goes to 20.1, 20.2, and it still keeps increasing, it plots the trend. And since the trend is increasing, it will give you a preemptive alarm, which means especially for things like if you're storing highly perishable systems, consumables, if you're having the blood bank, the plasma bank, where even small degrees can damage the components, there you get an extra time to ensure to check why is the temperature rising, and they can take corrective steps. So we have to get into those sort of technology. Also, in terms of the domain that we said, as I said, as the workspaces are as the workspace is shrinking and getting smaller, because work from home is now here to stay. Let's not imagine that okay, abhi COVID chala gaya, maybe December, January se we come back to offices. It's part of daily life. Now, if you look at the percentages in terms, so initially it was the security and cleaning which constituted a major portion of the business. Today, all the others, that is catering, support, and property management, equally constitute the other 50%, which means we need to look at all the other services if we have to grow. Because if the area of the client has shrunk and therefore they require less janitors, less housekeepers, then the difference, how are we going to generate? That will get generated either by use of technology and technological products and solutions and by adding other services. Now, if you look at the technological proposition, it is not necessarily that just because I have some great technology, I am going to go and sell the market. It's not that we stitch the pant and then look out for the waste. We need to ensure that we understand the client's requirements and then modify the technology so that it benefits him and it benefits both ways. It should be a win-win situation. So if you look at the first step, you need to have a clear roadmap. You would have the understanding of the client's needs, extremely crystal clear understanding. Then you design with respect to manpower and technology. So one thing, if I can stick my neck out and say, is most people in the the guarding and the FMCG industry work or the targets are based on manpower, the head count. Okay. So when you're depending on a head count to improve targets and revenues, the tendency is to give more and more people. Okay, what the client would probably require is to ensure that you are able to give them the right amount of manpower and optimize that along with a blend of technological services. So mix of guards and CCTV, a mix of housekeepers plus with proper machines. So these together in the software to a transparent software with ticketing systems so that everything is very clear would be the future in the industry. So third, after you understand that, you would have a trial run based on whatever the client states. Fourth, once the trial run is done, you remove the bugs. And fifth would be a full scale launch. No management process is complete without review. And the most important of all these five steps, the sixth step is to monitor and collect feedback as to how the system is performing. Very simple, like an Uber or a Ola rating system. You must know how the guard is performing, how your manpower is performing, how the process is performing, how is the software delivering, and is the client really happy? Now imagine all of this happening in quick real time, lightning speed. There is no luxury of मैं कल आता हूँ. Jugaad will not work. We have to be responsive. So if you look at the strength, if you look at have a SWOT analysis of the thread of the technological solution, it is ruthlessly efficient, if I may say. Okay, there is no. It is extremely consistent. What I call as the hot stove principle. Okay, the hot stove principle. How does it function? If the stove मेरा है तो भी मेरा उंगली जलेगा अगर आपका है तो आपका भी जलेगा. It doesn't say कि यार मैं मुरली का stove हूँ I will not burn his finger. It is consistent. When does it burn? If I put my finger in the burning stove, it burns me immediately. So it is instant. And first is consistent. Second, it is immediate. And the third, it does not look in. It is absolutely impartial. So technology is like that, almost like a cover. It doesn't care about your religion, your caste, your country. If it has to attack, it attacks. Same thing is with technology. It is ruthless. It doesn't realize a person. If the person's biometric is not proper, if it has not been established, even if he's a CEO or MD, the access control will deny him access. So that's the way it is. So it is ruthless. It does not understand emotions. It is either right or wrong. It's a binary system. So it works exceedingly well if used well, if implemented well. The weakness is it has a very short life cycle. We cannot say I have done this and therefore I am king of the game. No, because the mobile that was the model yesterday is outdated today. What was good yesterday is today obsolete. So we need to update ourselves. It's a continuous process. What opportunities does it give to us? It does give us a reduction in manpower, escalating manpower costs, which are continuously increasing and also difficult to find. And the threat is it could also make those people redundant. Like earlier days, we had two people at operating the reception, the telephone operator and the receptionist. The EPBX came and off went the operator. And then we came out with the electronic systems, KTS, and even one person was also eliminated. Same thing like bank tellers. So there it will also cause some amount of job losses at one end. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, for your time. I hope I've explained my point carefully with clarity. If there's anything that you wish, please do contact me. My name is G. Murali Shankar. I'm the General Manager of Business Development for Crystal Allied Services. My contact number is 88-790-58999, 88-790-58999. I thank you all for sparing your time on a Saturday evening, and thank you, Mr. Barrett, once again.